The sound of the slap echoed across the palace courtyard. Not a small slap, a loud, shocking, disrespectful slap. It rang so hard that even the talking drums went silent. The royal guards froze, their hands tightened on their spears. No one moved. The king slowly turned his head, his cheek already turning red, and standing in front of him was just a girl, barefoot, simple wrapper, holding a calabash of palm wine like nothing had happened. Before we go on, if you enjoy powerful African stories like this, stories that carry wisdom and truth, make sure you subscribe to Tales by Eniola, because this story will stay in your mind long after it ends. "Seize her!" the king thundered. The guards rushed forward immediately, grabbing her arms tightly. "How dare you touch me!" the king shouted as he stood up from his golden throne. "In all my years, no one has ever laid a hand on me." The chiefs at the side began to whisper, "This girl is finished. She will not see tomorrow. Who sent her to her death like this?" But the girl did not struggle. She did not cry. She did not beg. She only looked at the king, calm, almost too calm. "My king," she said softly, "before you kill me, please look at the ground." The king frowned deeply. "What nonsense is this?" he snapped. But something in her voice, something steady, something fearless, made him pause. Slowly, he looked down. There, on the smooth palace floor, was a large, swollen mosquito, crushed flat, a dark dot of blood beside it. The courtyard fell silent again. The king touched his cheek slowly, then his eyes widened just a little, because he remembered that morning, in anger, in pride, in fear of sickness, he had made a law, a dangerous law. No mosquito, no fly, no insect must touch my royal skin. If any guard or servant allows it, the entire village will suffer the punishment. The guards shifted uncomfortably. Sweat formed on their foreheads. They all heard it. They all feared it. But when the mosquito landed, fear had locked their bodies. The king lifted his head slowly and looked back at the girl. "And what is your point?" he asked, his voice now lower, heavier. The girl raised her chin slightly. "My king," she said, "that mosquito was about to bite you." The guards glanced at each other. They had seen it, every one of them, but none of them moved. "I did not allow it," she continued calmly. "I stopped it." The king's eyes hardened. "You stopped it by slapping me?" he asked. A ripple of tension passed through the courtyard. One wrong word, and her life would end. But the girl stood firm. "Yes, my king," she said, "because a mosquito does not knock before it drinks blood." A few elders slowly nodded. That was not just talk, that was truth. The king stepped down from his throne, walking slowly toward her. "You dare to answer me with proverbs?" he asked. The girl gave a small smile. "In our land, my king, we say when a child sees a snake, she does not wait for permission before she runs." The chiefs murmured again. Even the oldest among them could not deny that wisdom. The girl continued, "You made a law this morning, a strong law." She pointed gently toward the guards. They saw the danger, but fear held them still. Then she pointed to herself. "I saw the danger, and I acted." She paused, letting her words settle. "So tell me, my king," her voice remained calm, "did I disobey you, or did I protect you?" The king opened his mouth, but no words came out. For the first time, the king had no answer. The entire palace held its breath. Even the wind seemed to stop. The girl took one small step forward, still held but unafraid. "In our village," she said softly, We also say, the one who removes the thorn from your foot should not be punished for touching your leg. A deep murmur spread across the courtyard. That proverb landed heavily because everyone understood it. The king looked down again at the dead mosquito, then at his guards, then back at the girl. His cheek still burned from the slap, but inside him, something else was burning stronger. Truth. Slowly, the king raised his hand. The guards immediately released her. A wave of shock passed through the crowd. The king began to walk around her, slowly, carefully, steadying her like a man trying to understand a mystery. "You are bold," he said. "Yes, my king," she replied. "You are either very foolish or very wise." The girl smiled gently. "In our land, my king, wisdom sometimes looks like foolishness until it saves a life." For a long moment, the king said nothing. Then suddenly, he laughed. A loud, deep, unexpected laugh, the kind that made everyone jump. "You slapped me," he said, shaking his head. "In my own palace?" The girl lowered her eyes slightly. "Yes, my king." The king turned to the guards. "And all of you stood still while danger sat on my face." The guards immediately dropped their heads in shame. None of them could speak. The king faced the girl again. "From today," he said loudly, "you will not serve palm wine again." The girl's heart skipped. The courtyard grew tense again. Had she gone too far? Then the king continued, "You will remain in this palace." He paused. "As one of my advisors." The courtyard exploded in shock. Even the chiefs could not hide their surprise. "Because a king who cannot hear the truth," the king said slowly, "will soon fall, even without a slap." The girl bowed her head deeply. "Thank you, my king." And from that day on, whenever the king was about to make a foolish decision, whenever pride began to rise in his heart, he would stop, touch his cheek, and remember the day a simple girl saved him with one fearless slap. If this story made you think, don't forget to subscribe to Tales by Eniola, where African stories are not just told, they are felt.